Right, so my focus group, my feedback from my content, this was like, say I got positive, I said I was going to do, obviously, the youth involvement, and they gave me positive and negative feedback on what I could improve, what I could change. Involvement in my topic, so I had a few people who applied in my focus group, which was good. I got feedback from them. And I got feedback of how it appeals to the target audience, so what they enjoy about it. So texture analysis, what style of documentary, so say, would they like a fast-paced or slow-paced like documentary? How could I make it more interesting? So how could I make it humorous and like enjoyable to watch? And like the genre of music I should include, so like maybe Tiny Temper or something like that that my target audience would enjoy. Questionnaire: what topic most people would like to see a documentary about? So basically, I had my 3 documentaries, and they picked what their interest was, what kind of hobbies they had. I linked them all together and obviously came up with the Olympics. Obviously, what were they interested in, and how could my documentary appeal to them if I'd done that certain topic? So they gave me ideas of what they would prefer. Technical viability. So obviously you need the basic equipment of camera, tripod, the boom mic, and also if I do get into the Olympic Park, I'll take a dolly to like follow my presenter around. What equipment we need for post-production: live type to do graphics, Final Cut to edit my work, iMac to edit my work on, voice recorder to any voiceovers or any sound recordings that I need. At the end, obviously a computer and YouTube for my archive footage. What crew members will you need? I need a sound operator and presenter. So who will they be? Well, Ravdeep Jandu is going to be my sound presenter, and Danny's going to be my presenter, sound operator, sorry, and presenter. So I'm going to do the camera operator. I feel that I would be better as a camera operator as I'm not that good on camera. So, yeah. Practical viability. So who will appear to act as in interviews? I've got an interview with Sandy, Mandeep and Jamie. These all applied for to be young game makers. So I'll be able to ask them why they applied and how they think it will benefit them. I'm still waiting for Lord Coe and Sir Robin Wells, Mayor of Newham Stratford. So I've got to wait for them, and I've got backups of Mayor of Redbridge in case I need it. I've got Selena, who's for UEL Sports, but she's basically in charge of getting connections. So she got the connection from UEL to the actual Olympic Park and get to use their facilities. So I'll talk to her about that and how it would benefit her pupils. And Danny's obviously my presenter, and then Boris Johnson is still pending. And then the legacy of the games, I want to speak to them about what's happening after the games and what will it just be left, or who will go there and what kind of things. And then, so where our feature will be shot, so obviously Olympic Park, if I can, if not I'll go around the Olympic Park. And then Stratford Westfield, this will be if I do go over past the station, which I'm hoping I don't need, obviously, permission for, but I'll have to check that. And then archive footage, I've got 2 archive footages of like overhead shots and different photo shots of it all being built. So, right, so the BBC, impartial or diversity of opinion. So during my documentary I'll not be biased, so I'll cover both the positive sides and the negative, and I will not base, like, as I am a pupil as well, I'll not base them and say, oh, it's all positive or it's all negative. I'll base it. The truth and accuracy, this will affect my work when I'm showing facts and figures. So if I've got facts off the internet or something, or some figures, I have to double check to make sure they're right. Children, this won't affect my the content of my documentary, but if I was to interview like some people under the age of 18, then I have to get their parents' permission. Defamation, this could affect my work if I offend the Olympic Committee. So for example, if I say something bad that will offend them, so saying that the Olympic Committee have not done the best they can, but I wouldn't say that obviously. Content of court, this will affect my work if like a certain athlete has an injunction and I want to talk about them. So say they were from another country, but they wanted to play for Great Britain, but they had an injunction for that. I wouldn't be able to talk about that, so I'm trying not to break that. And also copyright, so if I was to use any music or archive footage, I have to make sure I contact the person and get the correct permission. So Ofcom, reconstructions. Obviously I'm not going to use any reconstructions in my work, but if I was to get a reconstruction of maybe the London riots to show if it was bad to bring youth into the Olympics, then I would have to not mislead anyone. Potentially offensive material. If I was to show footage of young people getting into fights and stuff, it will show a bad reputation, and obviously it might be offensive to people. And dealing with contributors, this may affect my documentary, as it may have to be approved by a programme lawyer, obviously. So commercial viability. I was given 7,500 budget, and overall I spent 3,837.30. So out of that I had to buy obviously all my equipment, pre, post and production. So I have to buy a camera, tripod, max and all that. But as obviously we're in school, the only money I'll have to actually spend on my documentary would only be my train fares and food. And obviously as it's just down the road, it's not going to cost much to get a train down there. So my documentary will provide good value for money, as I looked to interview several high status people, so obviously the UEL spokesperson and few people from the Olympic Committee. So my distribution and exhibition, this will inform, educate and entertain. Inform what young game makers are, educate how the Olympics will affect obviously the local community and youth, and I'll entertain by including some humorous stuff from my presenter, even though it's like a hard like documentary to make funny in a way. Commercial viability again. I've chosen my documentary to be on 8 PM on Tuesday. I chose this time as the other, like Holy City and that, caters for a different audience, and it's not really the same as mine. So, and like, obviously the programmes I'm competing against, obviously Holy City, Nature's Weirdest Events, the Fat Fighters and New Cowboy Builders. And then the big one will be Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That will be obviously the biggest threat to me, but I don't think many people of the younger audience would watch that. So the market. This was the closest documentary I found, which was a documentary on the Olympics, but it was about several things around London, but it also had a bit on how youth was affected. This would be the same as mine. It catered for the same audience of 16 to 24-year-olds, and the person presenting was the same age group as well, which was good. He had interviews with people of high status as well, so I think it was some from the Olympic Committee was in there, but he also had vox pops on the street of young people to get their views, to get a mixture. So questions for your audience. Does this appeal to you as my target audience?
Yeah, it does appeal, because it's got everything that you can create. What would appeal to their target audience?
Yeah, because it's a recent Olympic coming up to the Olympics now, I think people are gonna want to watch this and see how young people are gonna be like getting involved with what's gonna be happening with young people.
It does appeal to us because like there'll be like people our age involved,
Yeah.
and
You don't really know much about the Olympics.
Is there any extra content that would like help to improve my documentary?
I think maybe talking about how we could get involved in it possibly, or something like that. Something that, because I know it might be a bit too late or whatever, but it like something where we could possibly do something around the Olympics or something like that.
Yeah, so like, should I say like maybe someone filling in an application form for young game makers and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I'd do something more fun than that, like top 5 ways you can actually still, even if you've not got tickets or anything like that, 5 ways that you, as a young person in London, could get involved in the Olympics. So things like